welcome to a new edition of Culture Magazine. In this program, we review together the latest cultural updates that took place during the course of this week. But before we start, let's take a look on the latest culture updates that took place during the course of this week.
Egyptian actress Zahrat Al-Ula dies at the age of 79. The death of the Egyptian actor Gamal Ismail. Zahrat Al-Ula was born on the 10th of June of 1934. The renowned actress starred in tens of popular films in the 1950s and the 1960s, as well as numerous TV soaps. Some of her memorable performances on the golden screen, including a supporting role versus Omar al-Sharif in في بيتنا رجل or A Man in Our Home, موعد غرام or An Appointment with Love, starring Abdul Halim Hafiz, Fatin Hamama and Zahrat Al-Ula, also Dua al-Karawan or The Nightingale's Prayer in 1959 with Fatin Hamama and Ahmed Mazhar, and more films. Zahrat Al-Ula is among the stars of the golden era of the Egyptian cinema, and her work will never be forgotten. Egyptian actor Gamal Ismail died at the age of 80, suffering from heart problems. Gamal Ismail was born on the 20th of February 1933. His important films include اللعبة مع الكبار with عادل إمام, الظالم والمظلوم with نور الشريف, حرب إيطاليا, رمضان مبروك أبو العالمين حمودة, and more. He also performed in a number of successful TV series, among them are التوأم, ليالي الحلمية, عائلة شلش, الضوء الشارد, أدهم الشرقاوي, and more. His plays include مهرجان الحب and ممنوع للستات in 1963, الدبور, السكرتير الفني, العفاريت الزرق in 1968, سيدتي الجميلة in 1969, and others. The 24th Youth Salon Art Competition at Palace of the Arts in Cairo announces the winners. Mahmoud Mar'i and Mustafa Al-Banna have jointly won the 24th Youth Salon Grand Prize. £20,000 prize was divided between both artists. The Youth Salon is an annual competition and exhibition in which a number of young artists submit their work and a committee selects the best art to be showcased in the final salon, giving awards to outstanding pieces. The initiative was launched by the Ministry of Culture in 1989 to support young emerging visual artists. The 24th round of the Salon was inaugurated by Minister of Culture Mohammed Saber Arab on Sunday, the 15th of December, at the Palace of Arts in the Cairo Opera House grounds. A number of other prizes were also awarded by the Salon.
Cultural Magazine's cameras is actually going to look at the Kafafiyat exhibition. It's an annual event that happens. It's all about poetry and painting. Let's go take a look at the art.
We're celebrating the 13th Kavafia. Today we have the opening. We have two exhibitions here. One exhibition of professional painters, artists from Greece and Egypt. And another one, it's a competition, the presentation of the works made for the competition, Kavafis and I. We had just given the awards. We had 3 awards for this competition. We're very happy that we're in this place for the first time, Gezira Art Gallery. It's a great place with great history, and I love working with the Egyptian institutions, the Ministry of Culture of Egypt, and SEDEF Cultural Development Fund. there is a very long history in the relationships between Egypt and Greece. The two countries have the greatest civilizations in the Mediterranean and I think in the world. And it's not by coincidence that Egypt is called El Dunya. It's really the mother of the nations. We honor Egypt by coming here and celebrating Cavafy. Cavafy is a figure, a symbol, as a matter of fact, in our relationships. He was a poet, a Greek poet that was born, lived, created in Alexandria and finally died. And we use this figure now as a cultural symbol. And that's why we organize every 2 years this big celebration of art and literature. And we celebrate the two countries together. So we are very close and we very much like being here as Cavafys. We have every 2 years the celebration of Cavafia, and we have awards in literature, and this year for the first time we have awards for art for this competition, Cavafia and I. It was not easy to decide for the awards this year, especially with these talented people that came from Egypt. We had 87 pieces that came here, and they competed for the 3 awards. It was very difficult to decide. As a matter of fact, last night we had a really difficult night because we could not decide on the 3rd prize. There were 2 people that shared the prize. The 2nd and the 1st were by far the best, and the first one, I think it's one of, he's going to be a very young artist that's going to be a very popular and famous Egyptian artist in the future.
Well, in my particular painting, I thought a lot about it, and I wrote actually another poem, which is like an answer to Ithaca. So as we look at that painting, which talks about the journey and about the aspirations of a very young man, maybe an adolescent young man who's just full of ideas and aspirations and fantasy, and he wants his dreams come true. So as we look at the painting, I'm going to read to you a bit of the poetry that I wrote as a parallel to the actual poem. Ithaca, the beautiful, charming city, with its tall trees and flower gardens. Time and again I see it in my dreams, with her spirits springing from paradise. It must be the best place on earth. Daydreaming I was, like my fellows, I live my fantasy without a jot of shame. They say I'm too young for the journey, and won't take the hardships on the way. But see, my horse soars like an arrow, and he will carry me to where no one has ever set foot before. Through silver-edged clouds, I see beams of light caressing the water around the island of Ithaca, and I see myself becoming a handsome man like Antinos, or a brave patriot like Zorba the Greek, or both together, if you will. Haven't I told you my dreams no end? So I'll be there on my horseback or on a fast train. How about a jet plane or a rocket? My whole life is digitalized, everything at my fingertips. In my urgency and haste, have I become lazy? Can lazy people make it to Ithaca? Then I heard Kavavi whisper in my ears, "You have not understood my poem." Then he said in English, "Your destiny may not be your destination." This is what I wrote. Actually, it explains a little bit of what I did in the painting. I think we have been exposed to a lot of very rapid changes in the society, of course on the political realm, but I think Egyptians by nature, they love art, they love music, they love celebration, and they take every opportunity in feasts and other occasions to just dance and sing, and so they don't like this fundamentalist idea of everything is haram, so they resisted that very much. And I think now we are experiencing this lack of fear, which is very important, because when there is too much censorship, then there is fear, and fear is often the enemy of expression and creativity. So I think time and again we are going to notice more people getting involved, more exhibitions coming to express not just the present situation, because Egypt is not just about the last 3 years of a revolution. Egypt is a civilization of 5,000 years. So we have to expect people to come up with a lot of inspirations rooted in the civilization of their own country in search of identity and of other things. So this example is an example of the dialogue between cultures, between the Greek culture embodied in Kavavis, who lived here in